Welcome to the Real Estate Investing Morning Show with your hosts, Wayne and Gabby.
Good morning.
Ayo, how's it going, Canadian real estate investors? Welcome to the Canadian Real Estate Investing Morning Show. On today's show, we're going to be going through a hodgepodge of real estate investor questions from listeners of the show. Looks like we got 3 questions we're going to be going through here today. I guess I can give you a little teaser. One person wants to be just like me. Next question.
Carmen, is that you? What? Doesn't she always say she wants to be you when she grows up?
Maybe it was. Maybe she created a fake email and she's under an alias. Second question. Someone had a tenant that was supposed to move in for August 1st, but then they backed out. How do you handle the situation?
Mm-hmm.
And
Classic.
A scenario, possibly a hypothetical scenario, I can't quite understand, but a scenario where someone is close to retirement age, and they have some debt that's not mortgages. Refinancing is not an option. They got one rental property.
And they're stuck. They're capped.
WWPD.
What would Poppy do?
Hey, good job.
Hey. You thought I was tired and going to be useless today.
And I thought it was Worldwide Penis Department.
Okay.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah.
What is that? The first 2 minutes of the show? Anyways, Sorry, guys. But yeah, that's what we're going to be getting into today. Any updates in our world? I mean, anything you want to share? I mean, there's so many updates in our world. I just wasn't sure if there's anything that you wanted to share. Anything that of value? Anything that like, oh my God, that I can't believe that happened?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, and I say that because like nothing's on the top of my head. I feel like life is so chaotic and full right now with so much going on that it's like hard to be like, oh, what happened yesterday, or what are we dealing with this week? It's like a million things, right?
Your ability to control trauma is so inspiring.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. But actually,
It's been a rough month.
Interestingly enough, we do actually have a similar situation to one of the questions that came in. When I saw it printed out, I was like, "Is this us? Did we email ourselves?" Very similar situation. Ours is actually they're in a better situation, I think, than we are almost. Is my mic low? Yeah, that's about the only thing that I can really think that pops out is we had a similar situation that we were dealing with yesterday. But aside from that, just a lot of dealing. Well, I don't want to say we don't have any like active flood stuff, but we're dealing with the aftermath of a lot of flood stuff and putting properties back together and dealing with the root causes. So a lot of like sending various people out to properties to assess and to put plans together and to start dispatching those people to get to work.
Yeah.
So that's been a lot of my life. I think I said to you yesterday, Wayne, that this week I have been insanely productive. Like I think that anybody would be so fucking proud of themselves if they did the amount of work that I have been doing this week.
Such a weird way of saying it, but I agree with you.
Like,
I could 1,000% agree with you.
I've done so much and have been so productive, yet I haven't touched any of my actual work.
Yeah.
Like it's just been reactive and like dealing with all the stuff that's been piled on, yet getting nothing of like the surface stuff that I already had going on done. Yeah. So it's like, how can you be so productive yet feel like you've accomplished nothing? Yeah. So it's been a tough week, like mentally, to accept that and still try to be like proud of myself for what I am dealing with, while also not like freaking out about everything that's just waiting for me and getting worse and worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been a mind twister.
You and I had a meeting / walk yesterday.
Yes.
Just to kind of get away from the desks to be able to, okay, let's just reconvene and reassess. And that was one of the big highlights of that meeting, was that none of this is our fault. This all just kind of happened. And thankfully, with everything, we were quite busy,
To begin with.
leading into June with,
Yeah.
everything, all the projects we have on the go, the businesses, that have their own internal projects and the things that we put in motion, not to mention all the acquisitions.
Yeah.
We were very much, kind of reaching a limit, maybe a limit, or a
I
threshold.
think a limit or threshold of where we would like to be.
Would
You know
like
what
to
I mean?
be, yeah, for the summer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then just everything that happens has all been reactive since then because of just the things that happen. But the highlight of that meeting was that none of that's our fault, and we'll get through it. And I looked at it, and I'm a big picture guy. I'm like, this is just 6 weeks of shit. It's going to be about 6 weeks before we can kind of resurface again, which kind of sucks because there's about 6 weeks of really good weather left in the summer. So we're going to have to force ourselves to go out and actually say, nope, we're not going to do that. We're not going to respond to that. We're going to go and do this instead, just for taking care of ourselves. Went out for a nice dinner again last night.
Yeah.
Fish and chips. I love fish and chips.
Yeah.
You guys like fish and chips? Let us know in the comments on YouTube.
Yeah, but I think also kind of like one of the takeaways after having that chat with you yesterday was that I need to be more mindful of putting it away, because work really does start at 6 a.m. and ends at 11 p.m. when I finally respond to that last thing and put my phone down and literally pass out.
Yeah.
So I need to I need to turn the day off at some point. I need to figure out when that is, and I need to turn it off so that I can still live life.
Yeah. You got to live life, but you forgot to love and laugh in the middle of there.
I definitely have not been loving and laughing.
You have not been following the words on our living room wall.
We don't have those words on our wall.
We don't. Anyways, so yeah, it's good. It's good. It's busy, but I don't know. I
think we are handling it very well.
Part of that meeting yesterday was also a pitch. That just a heads up. I know how busy we are, but I'm still buying more properties, and I can't. Everything you were saying there, you're talking about how I'm doing all this work and I feel so accomplished because. And what you're finishing is mind blowing. You guys really have no idea how much she's doing. It's crazy how much you are knocking off the list, and you're so incredibly organized. But none of that was pushing us forward. It was all just kind of maintaining, and in some cases, almost taking a few steps back because there was things that needed to be done for growth, or needed to be done, but that aren't getting done. And everything's getting done, and all priorities are being met, but it's tidying up of other little shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things that you want to do normally.
Yeah.
What bothers me is the lack of growth, and I always want to make sure that we are constantly moving in the direction we want to go, and not just sitting in a holding pattern, because we spent so long in our life being in a holding pattern, and I worked so fucking hard to make sure that we were never those type of people anymore. I don't want to be the person that just sits around and lets life dictate or the world dictate what my life looks like, right? I am no longer in the rat race. I am no longer on the hamster wheel. We control our own fate and our own life. And if we're not doing things actively to make sure that we're still going in that direction, then we've landed in a holding pattern and we've accepted what we have, and no, I refuse. I am on this earth. I've been blessed with this life to make the most out of it. And I'm not saying, so I'm going to go out and buy real estate. What I'm saying is that I choose to grow. I choose to become the best version of myself. And sometimes that means, I have to do things actively that grow our portfolio, but the growth of that portfolio is leading towards something else, another step in the future, which we have all mapped out. And if we're not doing that, if we're not actively taking that step every day towards growth, then we're just dying. we've accepted what we are, and we're just dying. And I refuse to do that. That's just me, though. If you are completely okay with the way that your life is going, and you are completely okay with the world dictating what your life looks like, then have at her. Enjoy your, go out and enjoy the sunshine. But not me. I'm obsessed with becoming the best version of myself and making the most out of life. So we got to get through all this shit. Yeah, it happened. Whatever. We're not the only city that flooded. St. Catharines flooded as well.
Holy.
Just, we'll get to that. You know what I mean? We're gonna do what we need to do. We're gonna get through this bullshit, and maybe you got some bullshit you got to get through as well, right? But we're gonna get through it all, and then we're gonna get back on track, and we're gonna keep on doing what we set out to do and what our plan is.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to that. So another 6 more weeks to get through all this bullshit, and then you wait. I mean, watch like mid-September. The whole vibe of this podcast is going to be completely different. I hate that we keep going down this rabbit hole at the beginning of every episode, because it's starting off our episodes in such a negative fucking tone, and it's bothering me so much because I don't want to spread that negative tone to you.
Yeah.
I don't want to spread it to you any time of day, but especially during the morning. If you're listening to the show in the morning, listening to us live, it's the last thing I want to do to you first thing in the morning is start talking about, oh, my life was this. I sound like just like fucking Earl at the water cooler. You got enough of that shit in your life. You don't need to hear that. What you look for from this, I'm assuming you look for from this podcast every morning is positivity, reinforcement, and inspiration. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to stop talking about how our ankles are fucking wet and our properties are all moldy. I'm going to start talking about how you can go and here's the necessary steps you need to take in order to change your life, right? That's what you're looking for. Yeah. So that's why.
Can I just say something quickly, though?
If it's about floods.
It's not about floods. Something was, and it's funny because something was bothering me yesterday. It was when we were saying happy birthday to Jess, and Josh was like, she's a Leo, though, when I was like, oh, everybody's a Cancer. And it was bugging me. I didn't realize until later in the day because I never went back
You're a Leo?
Think about it. What?
You're a Leo?
No, I'm a Cancer.
Okay.
But I had no clue what the date was. I had a realization late in the day that we had a tenant who's moving in tomorrow. She's moving in a few days before the end of the month. She's moving in tomorrow. And I was like, it hit. I was like, oh my God, I haven't done anything to prepare for the tenant moving in, like preparing the inspection form and stuff to send to the agent. And you guys, I thought it was like July 20th or something. I had no idea we were at the end of the month. Oh. Yeah, and it's just, I can't believe that it's like August in a couple days, and which basically means summer, at least the kids' summer break is half over, that sort of thing. So I really do hope that everybody's getting out, and if you're sticking around like in Edmonton and you're have nowhere to go and to escape from, I hope you're enjoying these beautiful days before the inevitable storms are rolling in and stuff, because we have been having nice daytime weather. Yeah. That you can go out, walk, go to the lake, do whatever. We can still enjoy this, right?
There's plenty of time to go and enjoy the sun before you need to seek shelter in the evening.
Yes. Just don't make any evening plans. Stop going to outdoor concerts and outdoor festivals. Stay inside at night.
Make sure you're always within 15 minutes of emergency shelter.
Yes. Anyways, I just wanted to say that. I had that realization late in the day. I got a great idea. I was like, wow.
I got a great idea.
What's that? Something
that people can do during the day, but then they can get back to shelter in the evening.
Okay.
August 22nd. The REI Masters Edmonton Real Estate Investing Bus Tour. Do you guys remember the last one from May? Remember how it sold out really super quick?
Yeah.
You remember how all of the pictures and all the videos that you guys saw about how fucking amazing it was, and everybody was talking about it, and you're like, oh, God, I wish I would have went.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe you were there. Maybe you were there, and you know what I'm talking about. It was effing amazing, right? Yeah. It was so much fun. And remember when you were leaving, and everybody's like, oh, it's so great. I can't wait for the next one. Let me know when the next one is. Well, here it is, August 22nd. And it's during the day, so you don't have to worry about a tornado or hail. Yeah. Right? Because I think, So all you got to do is just go to www.reimasters.ca, go to the events tab, get your ticket. We're going to be touring I don't know how many properties we're touring yet. I don't like to do lots of properties. I like to focus in on really, really good properties and spending enough time on them, because there's nothing worse than like a bus tour. It's like, oh, let's go check out this. Ooh, that looks cool. You get through, I mean, sometimes there's 2 buses and like you don't have enough really much time to get through it. And then you look around and it's chaos. And then everybody's trying to find the bathroom. There's a long lineup at the bathroom and the bus is like, meh, meh, and it wants you to hurry up and get to the next spot. What we want is we want to focus on the best cash flowing opportunities in Edmonton, and we know where they are. So you get enough time to go through them, ask questions, and get the information that you need in order to do that yourself. Mm-hmm. So you can actually get something from this tour with us and not just spend a day kind of walking around looking at windows and flooring. You know what I mean? So I think it's either going to be 3 or 4 stops. We did 3 last time and it was great.
Yeah.
And what we wanted to do as well, we wanted to give enough time for networking and lunch. So networking is really important too, to be able to, surround yourself with like-minded individuals. So August 22nd, at the very least 3 stops, possibly 4. I already know 2 of them. They're already booked. We're going to be checking out an amazing cash flowing opportunity in Edmonton. Not going to talk any more details about it, but it's a great property that just got purchased by one of our students, and they have they've offered to host. And if you've seen the multi-unit garden suites that we are building, we're going to be showcasing one of our development projects as well. I don't know which one yet, but if you went to the last one, I promise you the one that we're going to be going to will be further along. So you get to
at a different stage.
At a different stage, right? If we can squeeze in one before, those stages, I don't know. We're going to see. But we have lots to choose from. It's just we're still like a month away, 3 weeks away. So we as we get closer, we're going to figure out the best ones possible. And ultimately what we want is we want to highlight the best opportunities in Edmonton for you to invest in. And we don't want to like, oh, here's a project that we bought 10 years ago and this is what we did and this is why it worked then, but it doesn't work now. We're going to show you what works right now. You can get the opportunity to ask your questions. We'll answer your questions and provide you that education and coaching. So that way you can literally leave this weekend with the information that you need to go do it yourself. So we want to make sure that it's not just a cool thing to do on a Saturday afternoon. It's actually something that's you can take and take action immediately the next day. So that is August 22nd. Go get your tickets for that. About 40% sold out. I've only really talked about it on the podcast, and I changed my Facebook cover photo. That's it. I haven't. The second I put it up and I create an event, instantly it's going to get sold out. So again, this is like your last warning. I'm going to probably start advertising it later this week. And then it's going to sell out very quickly because we only have a limited amount of spots. We're only doing 1 bus. I'm not doing 2. Because you do 2 buses and then it's like, oh, double. But it's what ends up doing is it starts clogging it up and then people are getting less value. And I want to make sure it's as valuable as possible. Okay. Cool. Does that sound like fun for August 22nd?
I can't wait.
All right.
Yeah.
We got some questions that came in. We are broadcasting live on YouTube as we do every weekday morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time. Good morning to everybody who's joining us here. We broadcast it live so that you can bring your questions. Any questions you have about real estate investing, you put them in the chat, we'll answer them. And by the way, we have enough time today. If you have any more questions that you would like answered, put it in the chat right now. Let us know. And we provide free coaching for real estate investors across Canada. Anything you need help with, we can help you with it. Or you can send in your questions by email if you can't make it live to the show at info@reimorningshow.com. That's where these questions came in, and we're going to be answering them once we come back from the break.
Real estate investors need to treat debt differently than homeowners, and at Kirkland & Brennan Mortgage Group, we understand that. For the last 11 years, we've helped real estate investors plan and build their portfolios. We understand how to help you avoid fees, penalties, getting yourself stuck, and making sure that the deal you're doing today doesn't stop the deal you want to do tomorrow. You can reach out to Keaton, Keaton, at kbmortgages.ca. Put plan on the subject line and we'll help you build a plan and then realize it for your real estate goals. We also coordinate with the other professionals like your accountant, lawyer, realtor, and we will help you build your portfolio. So reach out. We'll do our best to help. Thanks, guys.
You've got showings, lease signings, suite renos, condo board meetings, credit checks, mortgage financing, and every so often the tenant clogs the sink because they shove macaroni down there. Stop. Breathe. Leave the bookkeeping to Fingo. Fingo is specialized real estate bookkeeping by real estate investors with tailored services for maximum returns. Save time. Enhance your returns. Claim the plumbing repair for that ridiculous macaroni fiasco. Book your free consultation at fingo.com.
Summer. While everyone's getting distracted, this is when the market gets quiet. Not because the opportunities disappear, but because the people do. Vacations, long weekends, these are the distractions I'm talking about. And that's exactly when serious investors make their moves. At Calvin Realty, this is one of our favorite windows. Less competition, more flexibility, and sellers who are actually open to negotiating. While everyone else is stepping away, we're stepping in. If you're looking to buy right, not just buy fast, this is your edge. Calvin Realty. Opportunity doesn't take time off.
Sure don't. July is the time to buy, and July is just about over. How many more days we have left? One?
Yeah. Today and tomorrow.
July really did slip by, didn't
Yeah.
it? But July is the time to buy, and I kind of missed out on my window to buy there because just how busy we were. But we had a bunch of other acquisitions that came in earlier this month. But
Yeah, we closed on several properties.
You guys heard me say that lots, right? Last year I said it. I was leading up to July. I told you guys about it this year. I'm telling you right now, this month, I have never seen so many fucking listings popping up on my phone every single day. Gabby hates it because it's like, I put it in another email account, and we've got like 7,000 email accounts, all the different businesses, all the different things. But I put it in one that's like, it's one she can kind of turn off, but she hates it because it's like ba-bing, ba-bing, ba-bing during the day. And there has been no shortage of deals that fit our criteria that have been popping up this month. So I'm actually heading out tomorrow. I'm heading out tomorrow afternoon with Calvin from Calvin Realty. And I'm going to be checking out, I think I've got 8 properties I'm going to be checking out tomorrow afternoon.
I thought that was today. See, I have no sense of time.
Oh,
I'm
God.
so mixed up.
Wait a second, it better be
No,
tomorrow.
you're right. It's tomorrow.
You sure?
Today is not Friday. Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
You worried me for a second.
I'll twist it up.
Yeah, so I'm going out. I'm 8 properties I'm going to go check out tomorrow, and really looking forward to that. And then if I don't find any of those, I'll get 8 more for next week.
I love how Calvin was like, do you want to see all of these tomorrow? Like his message is like, are you expecting to see all of these?
And I said, did I stutter?
Yeah.
Right? If you want a property, you go out and you get it.
Yeah.
That's how it's always been. You know what I mean? Like I've missed out on so many opportunities over the last 30, 40 days.
Yeah.
Like just because I just ignored all of them. But I was going through all the listings that I ignored, and I see them. Like I'll see them as like throughout the day. I'm like, ooh, that's nice. But I was going through all the listings that I ignored yesterday when I was planning out what properties I wanted to see. And I was like, Jesus Christ, there were so many amazing opportunities in July. Crazy amount of opportunities. Crazy. Yeah. That fit our criteria at the very least. And which kind of leads into this first question, because this person, as I said, they didn't say it, but they pretty much said it.
They want to be you.
Yeah, they want to be me. So anyways, it says, I loved today's show. So that was yesterday, referring to yesterday's episode where we talked about how we built our real estate empire in Canada. It says, I love today's show. I really want to learn how to build a real estate portfolio like you. I know you said that you don't add basement suites anymore. What should I do? And what if the market changes again?
Not what if, it will.
And what?
No, I'm saying the question shouldn't be what if, that you should expect it to change, because it always does.
And what when?
What when, how?
What when the market changes again?
Yeah.
Okay, so building a portfolio like me, listen to the show every single day and hear what Wayne's doing. And like, it's not very difficult. We have some regular listeners here that are here every single morning. They You guys must. I leave some pretty decent sized breadcrumbs, do I not? I leave some pretty big breadcrumbs, and I'd say once every.
They're like loaves of bread.
Yeah, I leave about a loaf of bread out on the side of the road. It's not very hard to figure out. Now, I'd say at least once a week, if not once every other week, I'm basically telling everybody what the best opportunity is in Canada right now. So my recommendation would be to listen to at least 1 week's worth of episodes. So it'll take you about 5 hours and you'll find the answers. It's all there. And everything that we teach about our systems and things like that, I mean, it might take you a minute to kind of get through it, but, you know, the hours and hours and hours of podcast episodes, but it's all there. We cover everything. So I could tell you right now, you know, but then again, I feel like there's a few, even if you knew, there's like 10,000 other steps about how to do it properly, how to do your diligence, how to write your offer, when to write your offer, what types of tenants, tenant profile, how to set up your systems, how to, you know, manage your own property if you didn't want to hire a property manager, how to do it remotely, all of these things. There's every single episode that we've ever done has covered it at least 10 times. So the cool thing is that Spotify is really great. What you can do is you can go into Spotify and pull up the Canadian Real Estate Investing Morning Show and then go into the search function at the top and type in keywords for what you want to learn about, and it's all there. We're very, very conscious about the keywords in our titles and also in the description, so you can literally find the episode that covers it. When I say we do free education every morning, I mean, I'm not exaggerating, and it's better than any education, any paid education out there. There is no other database of solid, reliable information out there like than ours. YouTube's not as good for the search function, but Spotify is, I can guarantee that. And there's over 1,200 hours available. So if you want to do it like Wayne does, then that's my recommendation. If you want it for free, okay. I know you said that you don't add basement suites anymore, and that was referring to yesterday's episode when we talked about the different various things that we did through the stages of our journey. And, you know, we explained yesterday as well that, you know, different opportunities are presented throughout different stages, depending on what the market offers. You can definitely do basement suites in other markets, you know, if the numbers work, and it really comes down to the numbers. And we talked about the numbers on the previous episode, but the day before that, see what I mean? Like, it all kind of ties together, if you listen every day. So, you know, we're not adding basement suites anymore because it doesn't make financial sense. And I'd say 99% of real estate investors in Edmonton, Red Deer, and Calgary, it doesn't make any sense to do it. The numbers won't add up, nor will it cash flow afterwards. So he says, what should I do? Well, I just explained, probably not buy a house and add a basement suite. Probably not. I'm not saying guaranteed. There could be. I've seen some deals that properties that have come across, you know, that the numbers could work. Are they the best numbers as far as return on investment and cash on cash? Probably not. It's not the best opportunity, but it can work. You can probably try and figure it out. You know, I think what you should do is I think that you should listen to the episodes that we've talked about recently about the best opportunities in Canada right now. And I'm pretty sure if you go into Spotify and pull up the Canadian Real Estate Investing Morning Show and type in best opportunity or opportunity, you will find 5 to 10 episodes in the last 3 months where we've talked about the best opportunities in Canada right now. They are in Edmonton. Has nothing to do with the fact that we are here. That just happens to be where we live. I would prefer not to live here. The city fucking sucks right now. Just a disclaimer. But happens to be where we live, happens to be where most of our real estate investments are. And the reason why we invest here is not because we live here. The reason why we invest here is because it's the best place to invest in Canada. Talk to me in 5 years, it might be Winnipeg or it might be Saskatoon. I got my eyes on Saskatoon and Winnipeg. There's your next big opportunities. In case you want to set your sights there. But I don't know why you would set your sights 5 to 10 years in advance right now, trying to figure, I should probably get into there now because it's early. Yeah, you still have amazing opportunities that are here that are easy home runs. Yeah. That no sense in skipping over it. But, you know, when these opportunities dry up, and they will. See Carmen, what she said there in the chat?
Breadcrumb.
Breadcrumb. There's a breadcrumb for you.
Oh, dropped a loaf.
Yep.
Sorry.
I just dropped a loaf this morning on the live stream.
A bread loaf. Dropped a bread loaf.
Oh, God.
Wait, what are you doing in the corner over there? Get back.
Winnipeg is incredibly undervalued. There's obvious reasons why most people don't want to invest in Winnipeg. You know what I mean? There's pros and cons to everything. But I think Winnipeg is undervalued. And I think that a lot of people, that's where sites are going to be set in the next decade. But, you know, will it be as good as Edmonton? I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think it will be as good. If you're going to compare it, people will be like, oh, I really liked Edmonton better. Well, here's your sign. Yeah. Here's your loaf. Yeah. Take advantage of it. And like I said, go on to Spotify, type in opportunity or opportunities. I swear to God, there'll be at least 10 episodes there that's going to tell you exactly what to do. And then listen to all the other episodes to figure out how to go about doing your diligence and finding the right tenants, et cetera, et cetera. Now, what if the market changes again is the last part of this question. That's written wrong. It's, and what when the market changes again? Yeah. It will. Yeah. It will change. Look at the journey that we shared yesterday. Now, some of that journey, it changed because our resources changed. Yeah. When we first got started, I wasn't building garden suites. And that was because garden suites didn't make sense. But even if it did make sense to build multi-unit garden suites in Edmonton in like 2014, 2015, something like that, we didn't have the money to do it. We didn't have the funds to be able to do it. We didn't have private lenders. We didn't have the joint venture partners to do all that stuff, so that's why we didn't do it. So there's lots of different things you can do sometimes, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're in a position to be able to do it. So all that to say, the market is always changing, and you need to look at the opportunities that are available. And then you need to look at the resources that you have at that given time to see what is the best for you with what you have to get you to whatever your end goal is. So you need to reverse engineer your goal, because someone could tell you right now, oh, there's a great opportunity to buy a multi-unit in Estevan. And, what you can do is go in and add laundry in the units and replace the flooring, and you can increase the rents and then refinance it and get all your money back. And it's only negative $100 a month in cash flow now after that. But you get all your money back and you can recycle it. Is that the best use for you? Is that the best for you? And maybe it might be. Maybe like a situation where you can recycle all your funds and then go take it and buy another property is the best. But I'm telling you right now, it's not the best option for all of you, because each and every one of you guys have a different destination that you're trying to get to. And determining what the best avenue is for you is going to be unique to you, right? And there's so many different ways to approach this. You do the one that's right for you, that gets you to your goal as quickly as possible with the least amount of risk, right? So I don't like to just give generic advice about what you should do. I'll tell you what the best opportunities are for ROI and the best lowest risk, like best cash and cash. I'll tell you what that is. But, should you do it is completely unique to you. We need to look at what your goals are and what you have and what your responsibilities are, your obligations in your life, to figure out what's right for you. So every one of our students is doing something different. Yep. Every one of them. A lot of them are here today. Some of them are kind of on the same path because they have the same circumstances. So it makes sense for them to kind of go in the same direction. But all of our students are doing different things. We have students doing wholesaling. We have students that are interested in fix and flips. We have students that are interested in rent to own. We have students that are interested in BRRRRs. We have students that are interested in multifamily. We have students that are interested in turnkey, students that are raising money, students that are not raising money, students that are building garden suites, like everything, right? Because we don't put everybody into one mold. So a lot of this, like, what should I do and what if the market changes again? Like, it's really hard to coach you without knowing what it is that, you have and where it is that you want to go. And I wouldn't be doing you a good service by just saying, you got to do this. It's only this. That's not fair to you. Right? So here's what I recommend. If you're serious about this, I've given you free options. I told you exactly how to go and get the answers to your questions. Okay? It's really simple. And if you are so incredibly lazy and you don't want to do that, just listen to the show for the next 2 to 3 months every single day, and then it'll eventually get answered again through the normal, natural, organic circulation of the information that we share. If you want to get it done faster, if you're like dead serious about this and you want to get it done faster, then go to REI Masters and book a discovery call for the mentorship program. If you want to learn how to invest like Wayne, and you want to learn how to build systems like Gabby, and you want to learn how to get the best opportunities specifically for you in order to get you from point A to point Z, book a call. Let's talk about the mentorship program, and I will literally give you a full roadmap to get you there. If you're willing to put in the work and you're dedicated and you're willing to invest into your education and coaching, 1,000%. If you want my hand holding and guidance, it costs money, okay? But if you're cool with that and you see the value in that and expediting that learning curve and cutting that learning curve, then yeah, pay for it. If not, use the free resources like I shared with you earlier. But I'm telling you right now, like our students, most of them are here every morning. A lot of them listen to the recording afterwards. But they're literally, I don't read everything they say, because they always say it like right at the end of the show, and they'll like share their whole, oh my God, it's been amazing. This is all but come join us live. You can see their comments in the chat about like their successes and how they were able to like quickly figure out what the right thing for them is and then immediately take action. Right. And that's why whenever like you see any posts online about like people saying, I'm looking for, a good coach, or I'm looking for a mentor, I'm looking for someone to teach me real estate. There's a reason why Wayne and Gabby's name gets put so many fucking times consistently over the years. It's because what we teach works. Right. And we actually care. So if you want it fast and you want it done perfectly, book the call. Let's get you into the mentorship program. We'll figure out how to do it right for you. If you are cheap or you don't see the value in it, either way, I don't give a shit. I really don't care. Then there is tons of free guidance and education and ability to get your questions answered every single weekday morning, and I'll do it for free. Okay? The only thing we charge for is our time. And I hope is that reasonable?
I
that
think
fair?
so.
If you want more of my time, more than 1 hour every morning, then just cost money, right? I think it's pretty fair. And we deliver. Okay.
Just so you're aware, there is a question in the comments as well. We can push it to the end. Let's get to the ones that were sent in first. No? It was, do you invest outside of real estate space and your side businesses? And is your reserve fund held in cash, GICs, EFT, some sort?
Ooh. Good questions. First, about the reserve funds, I have thought a lot about GICs, and Gabby and I have had this conversation many times about putting our excessive reserve funds into GICs, because you can get some pretty decent returns on like 1 years and 6 year closed. I mean, your money's just sitting there dying with inflation, technically. And I'm not ignorant to that, not naive. And every time I get to it, I'm just like, there's so much money in there. We could be getting like 3% on it at the very least. And then I get close to it and then I don't. But that's just a personal decision. You ask me, what am I doing? I'm not. I've considered it. I've had a hard time pulling the trigger on it. 2 reasons. One, I like liquidity, and this year, these past 2 months have really proved that liquidity is important for some of these big expenditures we've had. Secondly, it's just one more thing that I need to manage. So if I were to take money out and put it into a GIC, I would have to document it somewhere, and then I would have to remember where it went and then put it back. It's just one more thing that we have to worry about. Keep in mind that a lot of these are through partnerships and shareholders as well, through corporations. So it's not like I'm taking out $500,000 and just putting it one account into that thing for 1 year and getting a 3% return or whatever, 4% return. It's like 10,000, 12,000, 13,000, 5,000, all
one
these
with
different.
this partner, one with that partner.
And it's all with different
one with this
partnerships.
corporation.
That's a lot of bookkeeping.
Yeah.
And I see that it's sitting there and it could be getting, making small returns. And I do not, I'm never the person that's like, that'll step over a penny. You know what I mean? Like I value a dollar and I value a penny. But the amount of bookkeeping and management is required for it, that's the difficult part. But if you're small scale and I think and you just doing your own small portfolio, I think it's worth it. I think that if you got money sitting there, I think it's worth it. Security deposits too. And I don't really know the legalities around it. It's something I haven't talked to you about, but like even just security deposit accounts, like Jesus Christ, like we could be locking those in for 1 year. And I mean, like worst case scenario, like, you know, if you've got 500K worth of reserve funds and then maybe you've got 100K or whatever, 200K worth of security deposits, you know, like there's enough money in there that if you had to, like, someone left early or whatever and you didn't have, you'd be able to get the money. Like you wouldn't have to take that security deposit directly back out of the GIC account. You know what I mean? But anyways, that's my answer. No was the answer. But the other part of the question was, do you invest outside the real estate space and your side businesses? All of my businesses are in the real estate space. Yeah, it's mostly a marketing and branding decision because of my reputation in the real estate space. I'm able to. I've built trust obviously with people. This is my area of expertise, and the businesses that I invest in, or the businesses that I start, or the businesses that I partner in on, are all revolving around my expertise and my knowledge. And so I think that that's a smart decision for me as a business, but I think it's also it's an ethical decision for my audience who may be, you know, looking at businesses that we offer and thinking to themselves like, okay, Wayne's starting a machining business. What the fuck does Wayne know about machining? You know what I mean? It's like, I stay in my lane is what I'm getting at. And I'm really, really good at real estate. So anything relating to real estate, or whether that be through, you know, rent to own or fix and flips, or whether that be through accounting, it's all related to real estate. And for the time being, I'm going to stay in the area that I understand. Who knows, though? Maybe in the future, something different.
Okay.
Was there another question?
I don't think so. But I think we have a new live listener.
Oh?
Sierra. I hope that I've said that correctly. Says, thanks for the gold. Very happy to have found a Canadian-specific real estate channel that's current, and in this case, live.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for being here.
All right.
And you're welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to read the next one?
Sure. Okay. Good morning. I have a situation. I had a rental available for July 1st, which I screened a great family through and collected security deposit and first month's rent. This was to hold the place until August 1st when they could move in. I received an email from them yesterday indicating that they can no longer move into the place and will be staying in Prince Edward Island. My question: what paper would you have them sign to cancel the lease, if any? And what amount of money am I required to return to them? So they had received 1 month rent of $2,700 and a security deposit of $2,700.
So they do have a signed lease. Because what paper would you have them sign to cancel, the lease? So there is a signed lease.
Yeah.
There is a signed contract, and they have received
rent and deposit.
The rent and the security deposit. Okay, so that's the important information for all of this,
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the important information that we need on this. And I'll let you explain why.
Yeah, so, I mean, this email, by all indications that I can tell, says that we have a smart and sophisticated investor. They've done everything by the book. They knew that they were waiting an additional month before the tenant that they screened and approved could move in. So they secured that with a signed lease and by collecting rent and the security deposit, which is, usually people don't collect security deposit until the day that they move in. But that's also been collected ahead of time, which is kind of just an added bonus, added security that they've done that. So well done. You've done everything that you should have done to secure the property and to hold them accountable to
Their
becoming
contract.
to becoming your tenant.
Because there is a contract that says that they will move in on August 1st and they will rent this property for 12 months. There is an agreement, contractual agreement between you, the landlord, the owner, and the tenant. But that's just a piece of paper, right?
Yes.
And so what you've done to secure it even further is taken the security deposit and the first month's rent. So automatically, they don't have, you've now received the first month's rent, rather than waiting until they move in. And as Gabby said, typically how we do it, at least, write this down, is that upon signing of the lease, we ask for the first month's rent, and then upon release of keys on the day of move-in, then that's when we collect the security deposit. Now, there's a reason for that. Do you want to share that reason?
Sure. We want to go there?
Just really quickly.
Okay. So,
because it's important to the answer.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's why I would have went in it in a different order here. Okay. So the security deposit is, you collect a security deposit to handle, the security of your property, really. So when the tenant eventually moves out, that security deposit is in place to cover any potential damages to the property, to cover any cleaning that may be required, to cover any owed expenses. Maybe they have owed rent, maybe there's owed utilities, or any monetary value that is still owed to you that hasn't been paid up by the tenant. So it is to cover anything that has really gone wrong in the tenancy while they've been a tenant of yours, right? So in this case, the tenant hasn't lived in the place, they haven't caused any damage, they don't owe you anything because they didn't pay bills, right? So the security deposit isn't really applicable here. But when you collect rent, your rent is securing the owed monetary value of them living in the property.
They owe that.
The
contract says they owe rent for August.
Yes.
You've now received it early, right? That is for rent. The deposit is a deposit for the security of making sure that just in case they don't do something, that you can pull from that deposit, right? But here's the issue. They haven't moved in, and they've now asked to cancel their lease. Now, you don't have to accept... There's so many technicalities here, which I don't want to... Gabby and I are tiptoeing around.
How do we...
But here's the deal. They cannot cancel the lease. Well, short answer, they cannot cancel the lease because a lease agreement needs to be unanimous. It's signed. They are renting this for the next 12 months.
They've secured it with money. Everything is a go.
If they say that they don't want to do it anymore, they want out, then you can say, fine, you are now obligated, in Alberta at least, I'm pretty sure this is Alberta, you are now obligated to find a suitable replacement. And you have to try your best, per law, you need to try your best to find a replacement. Until you find a replacement, they are responsible for the rent every month until then. However, that security deposit, let's go back to that for a second, you have to give that back. Because the security deposit they're not living there. And if they're not living there, whether they moved in and they moved out or they never moved in at all, they are not there, so you need to return that security deposit. But you don't need to return the rent because the rent is going towards August rent. And if you don't find a tenant until September 1st, then there's 1 month's worth of rent that they owe, and you're going to put that towards it. Now, keep in mind, if you don't find a tenant for September 1st and you don't find them till October 1st, they still owe you the rent for September as well.
Yeah.
Until that suitable replacement is found.
Yeah.
That is what you are entitled to because you have a signed contract that says that they will rent this for 12 months. And that is how you do everything that you're supposed to do. That is what you are entitled to. What you actually do is a completely different story because you are a good human being and you understand that, hey, circumstances change for them. They're not coming. You're not going to charge them for all of this if they're not even living there. But they've put you in an awkward situation, right?
Have they ever?
They signed a lease. You stopped advertising.
You held it for a month. You had your suite available July 1st, and you decided to hold it for them until August 1st.
Yeah. And then they fucked you
backed
over before they moved in. They did screw you over, and there is a contract, and you are entitled to what you are owed. So my advice, and I'm pretty sure maybe you can add your own thoughts to this, Gabby, is that you need to get what you are owed. Like you should, in my approach, is that I can understand if your situations change, your life change, whether it's your fault, not your fault, doesn't matter. But I will not lose money because you did not fulfill your obligations.
Yeah.
So I will do everything I am responsible to do as per the law, but I will not lose money from this situation. I will be made whole.
Yeah.
That's my approach to it because this is a business.
Yeah.
And I went out of my way to do all this for you. We have a signed contract. You have obligations. I have obligations. You are going to fulfill your obligations.
Yeah.
And I will be made whole. That's my approach to it.
Yeah. And given also the time of the month, you realistically don't have time to find a new tenant for August 1st. That being said, the way that, because this has happened to us many times over the years, this similar type of situation. Yeah, just like I said, I was like, wow, I could have written this email with variations. But the one thing that I always consider and how I approach this is I start advertising right away. And if I find a tenant, either say for August 1st and everything is hunky-dory bobo and they move in, I give them back their money because I've now recovered. I have zero loss. I have a new tenant. They've paid me. We're good. Here's your money.
Yeah.
Or if I have a tenant moved in August 15th and I charge them prorated rent, I will give these guys back that portion of the rent that I now have covered. But I'll keep the first half of the month because I didn't have anybody covering that part, right?
We will be made whole.
We will be made whole. We will reimburse you or not reimburse you based on however that plays out. So there it is. You need to give back the deposit. You do not need to return the rent. However, do if you're compensated for it.
That's what you're entitled to. You do whatever you think. We've explained how we would do it. We've explained what you're entitled to. But at the end of the day, if you decide you want to give them their rent back and their deposit back, as far as, the second part of your question, like what paperwork would you use to sign, to cancel the lease? You don't have to do anything. An email suffice. An email just saying, okay, I accept that we will terminate this lease agreement is more than enough. For them to just put on for their records that's because they've explained that they want to cancel the lease. You've explained that you want to cancel the lease. That's all the paper trail you really need.
Yeah, but in this case, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say, okay, I acknowledge that we're canceling the lease because you're not returning. It's not like, we'll cancel it and give your money back.
I'm saying if they were to do that.
If you were and you were just handing all their money back to them, then yes, that's sufficient. But I just want them to know to be careful in this situation.
If you're not giving the money back?
I would say I understand your situation and that you will not be moving here. This is how I am proceeding. I will start advertising and trying to find a replacement tenant as soon as possible. Yeah. I'll be returning your security deposit, and as soon as I find a suitable replacement.
Could you slow that down just a little bit? You went through that really fast.
Okay.
Just so that they understand.
Okay. So, how did I start that?
Well, if in the event that you are not, you say, okay, hey, just a heads up, you are responsible until I find a suitable replacement. I'm going to do my best as per the Residential Tenancies Act of whatever province to find a suitable replacement for you, and then we will terminate the lease at that time.
Yes.
Is that pretty much the email?
Yeah, that's pretty much the email. Yeah.
That's all you need to do. It's not going to go over very well.
No, they're going to be upset, and you're going to probably get a huge guilt trip email about you being a terrible person and how could you do this to me. At that point, when it starts getting heated, I just stop responding, and then I deal with it when I've settled my side, and then I will get to them at that point and say, here's the situation. Either here's a part of your money, or here's all your money, or we did not find somebody. And
if that rubs you the wrong way, I'm sorry. It's not a good situation to be in, but you didn't do anything wrong.
You didn't.
You didn't do anything wrong.
No.
And so many people will hide from these situations because they're like, I don't want to be a bad person. I feel like a terrible person. You didn't do anything wrong.
And
They
you're not
did.
responsible for them either. You're not responsible for their bad decisions or their circumstances or what happened to them. It is not your responsibility to save them.
You are entitled to be made whole.
Yeah.
That's why there's a contract. That's why you signed it. That's why you collected the first month's rent. That's why you did all of these things in order to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And when you follow all the necessary steps and you follow the proper rules that we teach, all these things to prevent this situation or to prepare you for the situation, you need to be able to actually remember why you did it in the first place, is to protect yourself so that you don't lose money if somebody changes their mind. And here you are in this position. Now you need to take that last step of enforcing everything that you put in place, which you are entitled to. So you tell them exactly what you need to tell them so that they know, they're aware. If they start heating up, like Gabby said, just stop emailing them back. You are not obligated to respond to them. You are obligated to do everything in your power to find a suitable replacement in a reasonable amount of time. Deduct those expenses that you incur from their, from their rent, or, tally up all the expenses that you are owed, send them the bill. If they don't do it, you file with court, and then that's a podcast for another day. But now you know what you need to do and what you are entitled to, and I hope that's helpful.
Oh my gosh, we're almost at an hour.
So I have a scenario. This is the last question. Awesome show today. So another email that came in yesterday. Awesome show today. So I have a scenario that needs guidance. What if you are close to retirement age? Your friends and family are similar ages and they don't want to take a chance with their retirement money. You also have $100,000 worth of debt, which is not mortgages, so bad debt. Refinancing your home is not an option. And so as a result, your personal credit rate will not allow any loans. You have one rental property that cash flows. What would you do? I want to break this down into pieces. And just so I also have a better understanding. I don't know if this is hypothetical or real, but let's pretend it's real. You are 55 to 60 years old. You have, and this is what I interpret from this, you have reached out to friends and family about joint ventures. You've reached out to friends and family that you're close to and said, hey, I'm a real estate investor. I would love to do a partnership deal with you. You bring the money and the mortgage, and I bring all the expertise. I talked about it yesterday on yesterday's podcast. But they don't want to take that chance with their retirement money because they're all around the same age as you, 55 to 60 years old. And they're like, I don't know. I've got this little bit of money here. I sure would love to see it grow, but I can't take that chance when I'm only 10 years away from retirement. Rightfully so. That's sound logic. And for anyone who doesn't know this world like we do, if you didn't know how safe it was, you didn't know the opportunities were available, and you just thought real estate was just something that you hope it goes up in value, then yeah, that is sound logic to give that response. So you can't criticize them at all. They just don't know what they don't know. So you got no joint venture prospects. You also have $100,000 worth of debt that is not tied to any equity. It's unsecured debt. That's not great. Refinancing your home is not an option. And I'm assuming refinancing the home to either pay off that debt or refinancing that home to pull out more equity to be able to invest. Mm-hmm. And you have one rental property that cash flows. The only thing that you can do is buy more properties. That's it. The only way to take you from where you are today to where you want to be at retirement or retirement age, like 65 or whatever that threshold is, and past, is to buy more properties. Buy more properties or make more money, right? Now, in this email, you didn't explain anything about what your goal is.
Right. That's
the one thing I don't know. So I could just say, go start a wholesaling business and go make lots of money, but why are you making the money? Like there needs to be we can talk about the means and we can talk all about the different ways to do it, but what's the end? Like, what are we doing this towards? What's the outcome that we want? Is it to be safe and secure by 65 for that threshold? Or is it to be safe and secure on day one from 65 and then also for the next 40 years that you live after that? I'm assuming you're going to live to about 105. Well, we should probably round up a little bit. Let's go 110 just in case. There'd be nothing worse than running out of money at 105. But my assumption is that you would want a reasonable amount of money to get you through retirement so that you're never left relying on someone else, whether that be the government or your children or someone else in order to provide for you. And, you know, if you got yourself into this, what happened yesterday is it's irrelevant. Whether you made conscious decisions or unconscious decisions, whether you knew that you weren't planning or properly, or that you didn't know you were, and you just didn't know what you didn't know. What happened yesterday is completely irrelevant because there's nothing you can do about yesterday. All you can do is what you can do starting today. You have limited options. I will say that because time is your most valuable resource in life, and is also the most valuable asset in investing. Because real estate investing needs time. Time is a safety measure. The more time you give it, the more patient you can be, the safer it can be. But if you start pushing real estate investments with time constraints, that's where risk increases. It's like you're just putting more and more pressure, right? So it's possible. It's just do understand that there is going to be increased risks. If you have a target in a shorter term, you're going to have to do more. You're going to have to increase the risk in order to reach that target. Otherwise, you have to allow it time, breathing room and time to do its thing. The simple answer for this is that you need to buy more properties right now. More properties right now. Not more properties tomorrow, not more properties next month, not more properties in 10 years from now, not 3 properties a year. You need to buy best case scenario, you need to buy all of them today. All of them today. You want to buy all of them today because if you buy them all today, then that gives you the most amount of potential for time. In a perfect world, I would say buy all of them today so that way you have 10 years of growth. That is the best case scenario, right? Because that allows each of them to grow to the most that is possible. We can't buy them yesterday. That would be better than the option I just provided. But the best thing we can do is buy them all today. But if you don't have the money to buy them all today, then you need to go find the money to buy all of them as quickly as possible. That will get you the best results, okay? If your friends and family are all similar ages and don't want to take a chance with their retirement money, you've exhausted all of your family. Great. Let's go to friends. You've exhausted all of your friends. Great. I'm assuming you've exhausted all of them. Like you've talked to every single one of them, right? If you talk to every single one of your family members and every single one of your friends, the answer is you need more friends. That's the solution. And I'm just breaking this down with simple problem solving here. My friends don't want to invest with me. Okay, go make more friends and ask them. Those guys don't want to invest with me. Okay, go make more friends. That's your only option, right? You can't make more family. Not unless you go move into like one of those farms. What was that guy in BC that I was joking about a few weeks ago, where you go live with Brother Larry and all of his 20 wives? You could join one of those families if you want a bigger family. Or you can tell your kids to get married and then that can increase the family. And then you go talk to them. But it's a little bit more difficult to make more family. It's a lot easier to make more friends, right? So get out and fucking network. Network like crazy. As much as possible and start building relationships. Mm-hmm. Start building trust with those people. And if you work really, really, really hard and grow your network, people will invest with you. I promise. It's just a numbers game. That's all it is. You just need more friends. You don't have enough friends. That's it. And I've made so many friends over the years, and those friends have invested with me because they trust me, right? But I promise you, like in that story I told you yesterday when I was getting started, I exhausted everybody too. So what did I do? I went out and I figured out seller financing. I learned how to do agreements for sale, right? I talked about that. We can teach you how to do that if you want. But I think in your time frame, you don't have the luxury. Like, remember I told you it was very risky and I needed to balance things out with that portfolio because I took on a ridiculous amount of risk. I was able to grow a significant amount of equity in a period of time, but I needed time in order to build that equity. And I needed more cash flow in order to stabilize and reduce the risks. And I don't want to put you in a situation where I teach you how to go get 30 agreement for sale deals this year, which I can fucking show you how to do it. But then you're negative $7,000 a month in cash flow. Mm-hmm. And you can't float that thing. Or best case scenario, you couple it with rent to own, like I talked about on yesterday's episode as well. But then, you know, rental rates go down or something like that, and you get sideswiped by some whatever storm. Not a literal storm, but like you get sideswiped and then you lose everything. And I don't want that for you. I don't want you to take that level of risk on because I do understand that risk is very important for you right now. You don't have the luxury of time. You can't take a hit and then bounce back. There's no bouncing back. You're going to be working at your job until you're 87. So the safest approach is joint ventures. And the best way to make more leads for joint ventures is to make more friends. That's the best answer I can give you. I love you too, Carmen, by the way. I see you in the comments there. Did Carmen have another question as well, though? What if you could build a garden suite? Absolutely. I think that garden suites in Edmonton are a terrific opportunity right now. Not a single garden suite. It would be a multi-unit garden suite, like what we're building. It does require money. So you will need to get joint, like if you wanted to do that, you'd be looking at least $250,000 to build what we're building, at least. And if you wanted to learn how to do that, we've got a great opportunity to go and see what we're building on August 22nd in Edmonton with the REI Masters bus tour. But, with that related to this question, I would say that if you don't have the money to build a garden suite, then joint venture partners, right? Raise the money. One person, two people, three people. Go find three friends that each have $90,000 or $80,000 each, right? And then pool it all together, build a corporation, build out a shareholders agreement, go get the financing and the funding for it, which I can help you with, right? Go build that garden suite. And then the cool part is that if you build it like we're building it right now, the projects that we're building in $250,000 worth of instant equity once it's rented. So your comment about building a garden suite would be, I think, for someone in that situation would be actually a really good option. Because if you can find a piece of property where you can build a multi-unit garden suite on it, build $250,000 worth of equity immediately, and have one of the best cash flowing assets in Canada, means that cash flow in your pocket if you need it, or also, you're going to have a ton of cash flow, which means it's going to be a very low risk investment. You won't get sideswiped. So I think that building garden suites would be an actual amazing choice for this question right here. You know what I mean? But that is going to require money, and that's going to require more friends. So step one, start talking to people at the park. Start talking to people in the produce section at the grocery store. Or more realistically, go join a social club. Right? Go join a sports team. Go join there's so many different groups and clubs and things like that. You know what I mean? For sports, for cards, for,
something like Toastmasters,
even like fan-based things like your local D&D group or your local car enthusiast group or your local chess group. You know what I mean?
Get out.
There's everybody's got their weird things that they're into. What are you into? What are you weird about? how do you get, what's your freak? Like, what's your deal? Like,
Mine
everybody's
says
got
join
something.
the gym.
Join the gym. I don't go to the gym very often, ever. This is awfully.
Wayne,
This is an awfully baggy
When's
sweater.
the last time you were at a gym?
Well, if I were at a gym, though, I don't want fucking anyone talking to me. Don't talk to me because I am out of breath. But you know, who said gym?
Manny.
Manny, of course.
Manny's jacked.
Manny's jacked. Oh my God, Manny goes to the gym. That's for sure. Hey, Manny, you can clip that, by the way, too. But everybody's got things they're into. I love chess. I haven't been to a chess club yet. Don't have the time for it. I also love, my daughter's heavy into soccer, so we're heavy into the soccer community here. And I've met lots of people through the soccer community. And, I've played Edmonton Sports and Social. There's an Edmonton Sports and Social Club where they play different types of games like soccer and floor hockey and badminton and all these other types of things. And like I said, there's so many different like clubs and things that you can get into that are not real estate related. That's where I would go. I'd make friends there. Don't go to like a real estate networking event and get your fucking suit and tie or your nice little blazer and dress and then go in there and be like, I'm looking for joint venture partners. And they're like, oh, it's nice to meet you. I'm looking for a joint venture partner too. Would you like to invest with me? Yes, I would. Do you have money? No. Do you have money? No.
Okay, bye.
You know what I mean? So I think that you should build friendships through other areas and tell people what it is that you do, and they'll get excited about it. It's just a numbers game. Meet more people, have more discussions, tell them what it is that you do, show them what it is that you do, and show them that you're an expert, and they will want to partner with you. And then fill in the blanks for everything else. Tune back into the show, find out what the best opportunities are for their money right now, learn how to do it, apply it, rinse, repeat. If you need help with expediting any of that, and I mean, I can help you with finding people, the conversations you want to have with people, the pitches you want to give to people, how to market yourself as an expert, how to put yourself out there and building a solid brand. And when I say a brand, I mean like Gabby Hillier, the fucking property management guru. You know what I mean? That's her brand. And she backs it up because she is. But everybody knows her as the landlord and tenant expert. Not just in the real estate investing community, outside those circles as well. Everybody knows. You got a question about landlording? You got a question about agreements for sale? That's brand. That's because everybody, when you say Wayne, that's what comes up. What do you think of? And so when I say your name, what do people say about you? That's how you build brand. And if you want me to teach you how to build that brand so people trust you and know you as that expert, I can help you with that. If you need me to help you find the right deals, if you need me to help you build out your systems, build that power team, get the financing, the contracts, and all that other stuff, if you want to expedite that, we have a mentorship program for that. With the courses, the resources, and the guidance to help you expedite everything and cut that learning curve. For someone like you in this situation, where you only got a little bit of time left, you don't have the luxury. What's that?
That felt morbid.
No, I mean like
I know.
whatever your target outcome,
Yeah.
like whatever your deadline is. Not deadline, like not dead. Whenever you need that done, and it seems like a very short amount of time, invest into learning it faster. I promise you I can cut that curve for you. I promise. Any of you that have that issue right now, whether you're 20 or 55 or whatever, if you could get started right now and buying more properties right now like our students are, why wouldn't you? I mean, you're going to make that money back almost immediately in equity. Immediately. And in a lot of cases, a lot of our students are making that money back in cash in their pocket in the first year too.
Yeah.
Just in cash flow alone.
Yeah. I also think that that people that are in their later years often think that they just don't have any options and that there isn't time to do anything. And honestly, like a quick discovery call with Wayne and, telling him what your exact situation is and what your goals are, he can usually reassure you that you have time to do something.
Yeah.
And kind of like clear that up and make you realize, okay, I have options. There's things I can do. And like he just said, you know, if you were to join the mentorship program, can literally reduce the time that you will spend trying to figure it out and give you really clear direction and directives and action plan to make it happen.
Yeah.
So I wish more people knew that, like, a quick discovery call might make you realize you have way more options than you had thought and might bring a lot of clarity.
I know why you're not booking it though. I get about 5 discovery calls a week on average. I know why everybody else isn't booking it, because they're afraid that I'm going to use my voodoo charm and pressure you into getting your credit card number on the phone.
Oh gosh, no.
And I get it. I am charming as fuck, and I'm actually really, really good at sales. But I want to just give you a little bit of assurance and relief here, because if that is the case, if you're just curious and you just want to have a conversation about what it is and what it all includes and just want to know if it's right for you, I am the most honorable person when it comes to that. I will give you an example. So I had 3 discovery calls in the last week, and 2 of them, honestly, I didn't think it was really right for them. And so what I told them was, I said, go listen to the podcast for 6 months. Okay. Build up your savings. Start working towards this, and this, because I don't want you to join right now, because I just don't really think like you're going to get the most out of it. I don't think you're in the right space. And there was various reasons. I'm not going to talk about it because I didn't really tell them. But I did not pressure either of them to do it. What I told them to do is listen to the podcast religiously every single day, write down notes, and whatever you're interested in, ask questions, send those questions in. I haven't received any from either of them yet, but it was just still this week. So I'm hoping that next week I see some questions from you guys, okay? But take advantage of the free resources, because I want them to kind of get over whatever hump that each of them are at right now, because I want them to get to a level where I actually think that they're gonna see what I see, and they might see value in the program at that point. But right now, I just don't think that they see it in the way that they need to see it. Okay, so they're going to learn a lot from just this podcast. The other person, and you know who you are because you listen to the podcast every day, you told me that you were in, you wanted to join, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I didn't have to do any pressure whatsoever. I just answered all the questions. Yeah, cool. And they said, yes, I'm going to join. I said, okay, process the payment through the website. And then once you do that, we'll book you in for the first call. We'll get you in. We'll get you started. I emailed him, gave him a date that I can get him started in the next couple of days. Nothing. Now, answer this. Did I email you back or call you or pressure you? Any follow-ups last week? No. I'm not that person.
Who we are. Yeah.
That's not who I am. I'm not going to be like, oh, you said you were going to join. What's going on? Can I help you? Can I offer you a discount? No, it's not.
Can I increase your line of credit? I'll make the call for you. Sorry. Oh, sorry.
I don't pressure people, because my approach has always been there's free stuff right here. Take the free stuff.
Yeah.
It's slower, right? But I don't care. As long as everybody gets access to what we have to teach, that's the most important thing for me. If you want it faster and you want my time, it costs money, right? So if you, at the end of that call, something happened, talk to your spouse or whichever else, or you had second thoughts or whichever, that means that you're not ready for it. And I don't want to pressure anyone into it. I only want to work with people that are ready to put the work in. So I don't want you joining with 1 foot in and 1 foot out and not doing the work that you say you're going to do. If you're not going to do it, then it's wasting my time. It's wasting your time, and it's wasting your money. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to just collect money from people and then be like, oh, they didn't do anything. Fuck it. I still got paid. You know what I mean? I want you to actually succeed. I want to share stories about all of our students that are doing amazing, right? And I want to make sure that you're getting total value for that transaction. Yeah. So yeah, if you don't get back to me, I'm not going to like pressure you into it. So anybody who calls, don't worry. I'm super fucking chill about it. And I'll say it's a 30-minute call. A lot of them go well over an hour, and I provide you more value in that free discovery call. It ends up turning into a coaching call than anything you've ever gotten from anybody else. So don't feel pressured. I'd rather have a conversation with you to kind of know a little bit more about you and your situation, give you a couple tips, and then you can see what we have to offer. And if it's great, great. If it's not, doesn't matter. Yeah. So I'd love to talk to everybody. I know that we have thousands of listeners. I'd love to talk to all of you guys and see if I can help or send you in the right direction. I just want everybody to succeed and have a better life. That's all. That's all I really care about. Okay.
And Manny says, I can vouch for all of this too.
Thank you, Manny. We appreciate that. All right. And Carmen is on the floor laughing. I love it. That wraps up today's show. Another 1 hour and 20-minute episode. Goodness gracious.
What is happening?
What's
happening this week?
We got to do better with our time management. We got to do better with our time management.
Value.
Less value for all.
Moving forward.
Today's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. It'll be the last show of the week. What will we do with tomorrow? If you guys got any questions or anything you want us to cover, or if you want us just to go right into the deep end on something else, something complicated, or if you just want me to rant about the world and how I feel about it, anyway, let me know. Send us an email. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Want to be coached personally by Wayne and Gabby? Then you should join the Real Estate Investing Masters Mentorship Program. Details are in the show notes to get started.